Hey folks, this is a quick overview on how to get started in the Microsoft Word class for fall 2021. My name's Matt Herr, and the title of this class is CMAP 1715 Word Processing Applications. So if we go into that class, let me get you into a student view, and this is what you should be seeing. So if you don't know how to get to this point, let me know and I can give you some further instructions on how to get into the class, get logged in, that sort of thing. But I'm kind of assuming that you are able to get to this spot. So the way I design these classes is top down, just like you'd have in a book. You start at the beginning and you work your way towards the end. So if you were reading a really good book, you probably wouldn't skip any pages. You'd want to read them all. And you could make a mistake though, because if the pages were hidden like this, then you might miss them. So make sure that you can see all of the links that I've got in the class. So start at the top. So basic stuff you need to know. It gives you a bunch of different things. So the welcome message is from me. Canvas resource for students is generic. If you need help figuring out how Canvas works, you can use that link. The syllabus is specific for this class that I have created. The download and extract the data files for your assignments and get organized. This is a really important one to do right away. There's a short video here, and if you click on this video, there's a tiny little box that shows up there that you can click on, and it'll expand that video like that. I don't want to do it for this class, but you can see it larger. There's links in this document where you can download these files and get them set up. If you do not do this properly or at all, you won't be able to complete the assignments. You might be able to do the first one, but probably not the others. Okay, so moving right along here, you can see that there's a download Microsoft Office for free. So if you're a CWC student, you have a CWC email address, and you click on that link and you give Microsoft that address, you can install Microsoft Office onto your computer. Follow the instructions carefully, though. Some students skip around and you wind up only trying to use a web version, which will not work for this class. You must install the apps uh, on your computer. Oh, it looks like there's a duplicate link. I'll need to get rid of that. We start off with module 0, and that's what you're going to do for the first week. Okay, so you're going to introduce yourself. So click on that, introduce yourself, update your contact info. I'm not going to share that with anybody else. It's just for me to be able to connect with you. Introduce yourself to the class via email. So this is different than the first one. The first one's a discussion board. This one's an email. And then there are 3 chapters of some really generic sorts of things. Essential computer concepts. There's a link here to a PDF, just says just read this chapter and then go on and take the quiz. There's another section called file management. Read the chapter, take the quiz. Another section called internet basics. Read the chapter, take the quiz, and you're done. So it'll probably take you 2 or 3 hours that first week to get all that stuff done. It's not terribly difficult, but it gives you a sense of what it is that you're going to need to know to be able to complete these other assignments in an elegant fashion. So week number 2, module 1, September 5th is when it's due. That's Sunday night. Most of the assignments in this class, in fact, I think everything but one is due on a Sunday evening. So you don't need to submit it on a Sunday. You can submit it on a Saturday if you want, but that's when they're due. And that's just to help you stay organized. So this is how I've organized each of the weeks. There's a tutorial assignment, which is the main portion of the chapter. There's a video that goes along with this. Actually, in this case, there's 3. I broke them up into 3 different portions where you're going to create a letter, an envelope, flyer, and some minutes. You're going to submit those 3 documents into the Dropbox for Word Module 1 tutorial, and then you're going to go on to the Word review. So if you click on the Word review 1, it's going to show you some instructions and going to give you the page numbers where this is at. There's quite a few steps for this assignment, but they're fairly simple. And then once you start the assignment, you'll be able to submit the work. Notice that there is no video associated with the word review one. That's so that you can test yourself given the work you did on the previous module one. So it's kind of a check to make sure that you understood what you were working with. So the book, so let me pull up just a copy of this book here for you. This is an online copy of the book. You should have a paper version of the book, but the paper version of the book should look something like this. As soon as this pops up, you'll be able to see what the cover looks like, but it's going to say Word 2019 Comprehensive 365, looking like that. Okay, so that's our book, and in that book you'll notice that there's lots of different modules. Here's all the Word modules. So there are, I think there's 10 of them. And each of those 10 assignments is going to have a tutorial, which is the main portion of the chapter. And then at the very end, there's going to be the review assignments. So look carefully, because some of those review assignments are 1 page, some of them are 2 pages, some of them are 3 pages, some of them are 8 steps, some of them are 35 steps. So just pay attention, make sure you complete the whole thing, and you can go back into the main chapter of that book, and you'll be able to find the explanations if you've forgotten how to do something. They'll show you exactly how to complete whatever specific task it is that you might be stuck with. So do your best on that, and if you submit early, I will attempt to get that graded and give you a second chance if you might have missed something or messed something up or didn't understand something or got confused or whatever. If you wait until after the assignment is finished and we're working on the next thing, I may or may not ask you to resubmit that. So again, I think it pays for you to submit early. And if you do that, and let's say that I don't grade it until after it's been due, I'll ask you in the comments to go ahead and resubmit that, and I'll regrade it for you for additional points. So pays for you to work ahead and to be on time or early. Last thing you'll see in each one of these modules is that there's a chapter quiz, and those chapter quizzes are not designed to test your knowledge. They're designed to be instructive. And the idea is for you to learn the language of Microsoft Word. And a lot of the terms and definitions and things like that can be really confusing. But if you're going to be a professional or using this in a professional setting, you're going to need to know what those specific formal names and terms actually are and what they mean. Each time you take the quiz, you'll probably see some different questions on those quizzes, and at the very end of the course I will be using a few questions from every chapter to assemble a final exam. And so the more quizzes you take, the better prepared you'll be for that final exam. So we kind of wash, rinse, and repeat each week. I don't think that it's boring because it's very different material each week, and I try to keep it consistent so I don't throw you off. I think each one of you has a lot of different things going on, and if you want to work ahead, you can. Consider your own schedule. Some of you work hard, you have children, and you have other obligations. So make this work as best you can, but stay ahead. If you do get behind, it's not the end of the world. It just makes it more stressful for you. So the reason why I planned this out the way I have is to reduce your stress. It's not to be a jerk teacher who likes to throw his weight around. It's really to keep you in a place where you can actually finish this class most elegantly. Many of you have other classes, and some of your other classes, they don't tell you what the assignments are actually going to be or how difficult they will be. In this particular class, you have all of the information here. So there's no excuse, there should be no surprises. Everything is listed here. And you might notice that there could be some periods where we have 1 week or 2 weeks as we get towards the end of the semester, and that's by design. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to help you with that. Oh, one other thing that I just wanted to mention here. If you look on the right-hand side here while you're in the class, you can click on the course calendar. And the course calendar is kind of a cool thing because, well, there's August, kind of boring. If we go to September, you'll notice that there are a mess of things listed there, and they're all due on Sunday. You can click on these things, but you can only click on the little icon that's on the left-hand side. So if I click on this thing, it gives me those details. If I click on the words, well, I guess it does. Depends upon the web browser. So anyway, it gives you the breakdown of all the things that you've got. Now let me show you something interesting. I'm going to get out of student view for just a second. And I'm not sure if this works for all of you or just me, but I have, when I click on just the calendars itself on the left-hand side, I can actually click and view multiple calendars. So if I want to see, well, let's just click on this one, the spreadsheets. So then what this will do is it'll layer on multiple classes. And so you can begin to kind of figure out when you're busy and when you're not. As you can see, my Sundays are quite busy for these two particular classes, but then I have more classes on top of that. So anyway, use the calendar if that makes sense to you, because I would be using that if I were a student with multiple classes. Okay, I think that's about everything I wanted to cover here. Let's just keep the lines of communication open. If things come up, let me know, and I'd be happy to try to help you figure stuff out. If you wait until the end, it becomes really difficult for me to help you. So as we move forward and when things come up, just let me know and we'll see what we can do to help. All right, folks, thanks a lot and looking forward to working with you.